I think the biggest problem people have with starting new things or being consistent at it is the fact they suck. Okay, so we got the lazy method I use to learn skills 10 times faster by grit wise. So here's the thing, I'm not gonna lie. I feel as if I just be reacting to anything and everything. And this is just something I want to just establish as it's something I want to just see what it's about. I have it bookmarked. Like this is what I more so care about. Like instead of just the entertainment, dumb, recently cringe videos I react to. I want to just throw in some of this and just kind of see what they're talking about, and if I can offer a perspective, that's something I'd like to. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to just be all monkey business in a sense. I don't want to create like a sort of community just only about monkey business. I don't want to. And that's just me being truthful as a creator and a person just trying to grow as a community, as a fan base and things like that. I don't want people who watch me or interact with my content to only expect entertainment and monkey business of sorts. Like I want to have at least some sort of intellectual, conversations and things like that. Just because I believe that's how I think at times. Like not, I'm not always just some deep thinker 24/7. No, I can have some fun moments, but I also do want to incorporate some sort of like thought, like shared thoughts and things that matter could help someone. You know. But let's see what he's talking about. Long introduction, long-winded, whatever. Let's see what he's talking about.
You know what's crazy? Most people waste 100 hours learning something they could have learned in 10 just because they do it the hard way. I used to be the same, watching 3-hour tutorials, reading every blog. Then one day, I did the laziest thing ever and somehow learned faster than I ever had. This video isn't about grinding, it's about getting clever. If you're tired of wasting time and still sucking at new skills, this lazy system will change everything. Learning is broken because we treat it like school. We try to learn everything before doing anything. We binge watch tutorials like Netflix, but don't touch the actual tool. Imagine trying to learn how to swim from a PowerPoint. Yeah, that's how most of us learn, and that's why we forget 90% of what we study. Real learning doesn't happen from consuming. It happens from trying, failing, and figuring it out as you go. Here's the difference. Lazy learners don't try to understand everything up front. They just jump in, mess around, and only look up stuff when they need it. You know that moment when you try something and it breaks, and then you Google how to fix it? That's when your brain actually remembers it, because it's solving a problem. That's how you build real skill, not just passive knowledge. It's not laziness, it's efficient chaos, and it works. First thing I did was I stopped watching 10 videos before starting. I picked just one resource, one tutorial, one article, whatever. Why? Because more options equals more confusion equals more procrastination.
Ooh, that's a really good point. It's like the more you throw on top of yourself, the more you try and interact with, the more and you try and learn of these uh, processes and tips, guides, and things like that. It's like the more you're trying to absorb instead of just trying to put yourself into a linear thing or a one-sided thing. Because it's, from what I've learned, it's having structure in a sort of chaos of trying to figure it out. Because it's like if you take too much, everything's just kind of all over the place. You're all over the place. There's no real growth in one certain aspect. It's just you trying things, and seeing no progress. Or you might see a little bit of progress, right? Because the way I can take it as is like when I started playing soccer, I stuck to the basics. I stuck to very minimal things. I stuck to things that I know for a fact improve me. I didn't try and do and search for like 30, 40 different routines. I just stuck to a solid 10, And now I've narrowed it down to like 5. Just, and I'll rotate when I know I'm good on this. I need to try improving this, and I'll rotate it because I understand where I'm at. So I think just starting with the basics, the very basic, like baby steps, like you're a baby, bro, and just like learning as you go and seeing what you need more help on and focusing on that. But trying to put everything all on you at once, trying to do all that is kind of, I wouldn't say irresponsible, but it's kind of like reckless in a sense. Because it's like, whose advice is right? Who's doing it the best way? And it's like, you kind of just gotta, you know, stick with one person in a sense, or one system, or one method until you get a solid grasp. And then I guess you can incorporate more things and see, how does that work? How does that feel? You know, because obviously over time you want to improve the system. So of course, over time, you want to stick with your foundation, and then you want to grow and expand it, cut things out, just so it's like a structure in a way where it's more efficient, it's more easier. You know, you're not trying to overwhelm yourself, but you're not trying to just stagnate, where you keep doing the same thing, same things, and it's at some point you hit a wall and you can't grow. But let's see what he's talking about.
The lazy way is the clear way. Shrink your input. Pick the best thing, follow that. You don't need a PhD in which course is best. You need to start touching the skill. Now, this part's going to feel illegal. Try using the tool or doing the skill before you even understand it. You're learning to edit videos? Open the software and start clicking. Want to code? Type something, break something. It'll feel weird, you'll feel dumb, but your brain will light up like crazy. Because
I think the biggest problem people have with starting new things or being consistent at it is the fact they suck. Is the fact you're horrible at it. And it's like you see no growth, little growth from which you'd want or you'd expect. Like, yo, I'm supposed to be good at this quick. I want to be good at this quick. I don't want to spend all this time. And I think that's a big problem, because nowadays it's like you see everyone has some sort of skill, has some sort of thing that they're really good at, and it's like, yo, I need to be at this level. And hopefully you don't take into account their age. If they're younger than you, barely older than you, same age as you, and it's like you get lost in the sense of where they are and where you are, the gap in that space. It's like you get lost in that, and it's like, okay, let me not push myself to be at their level, because they have most likely years of experience on them and I'm just getting into it. So for me to expect within a short amount of time I'm gonna be at their level, that's crazy. Now you can take what they know, and if they give advice, that's great. It'll help you get there faster. You know, that's amazing. That's always a good thing to learn from your predecessors or teachers and things like that. But a problem I see people have is like they get frustrated at the fact that they're not seeing growth instantly. Because you can take someone doing YouTube, they didn't blow up immediately. Their first video got 1 view. Whoop-de-doo, gang. It happens. Like, bro, I'm still sitting at less than 100 subscribers. Whoop-de-doo, gang. It happens. Like, so it's just thugging it out. Literally just thugging it out. Like, it takes a sort of toughness. I won't lie. Now, another thing is I just don't think about it. I don't think about necessarily just how far I've come along. Because the whole objective of me doing this, of me posting, is of course to create a community, but to necessarily express myself. You know, I shouldn't get, in my sense, and I'll say in my sense, in my view, in my way of creating content, I don't want to get lost in the numbers, because the numbers is irrelevant to a degree, because it's not numbers, it's people behind that. Ooh, that's a cool car. But it's people. It's not just some number. It's a person watching, spending their time, their day, or their attention on me, which I appreciate, obviously. So to say I'm not getting enough viewers, I'm not this, I'm not that, it'd be disrespectful to the person who did spend their time watching this, who did spend their time watching a video, who did interact with it, subscribed, whatever. So it's like, gang, it don't matter. As long as you take it upon yourself to see what could I improve on, my thumbnails, titles, what I talk about, how I say something, what I watch or what I do, the ideas I have, or the amount of time I waste. That's a big one. The amount of words I waste. All these filler words, but, not but, all those sort of filler words, even I know I say it a lot, and I'll say words that are filler words, basically. Like, I'll say, so, something, I always forget, but it's just a process, gang, I'm not gonna lie. The way I see it happening is, over time, people start to get a sense of who I am and the kind of person I am. That's what I hope. And, if they subscribe, stick around, watch the videos, that's perfect. That's beautiful. Thank you for your time, and your attention. But let's see what he's talking about.
Now, when you do watch the tutorial, you're not just listening, you're connecting it to something real you already touched. That's how lazy learners shortcut the learning curve. They create confusion first, then clarity sticks harder. Here's where it gets powerful. After you try something and it kind of works, explain it out loud. Not in your head, with your mouth. Say it to your roommate, your cat, the mirror, whatever. Because when you teach it, you notice what you don't actually get. And when you fix that, it locks in. Lazy learners don't review information. They rebuild it from memory. That's what makes it stick. Biggest mistake most learners make is they learn something today and don't touch it again for 2 weeks. That's a guaranteed way to forget it all. The lazy fix.
One thing I realize when I'm like trying to learn something is, like, I'll do it until I get it right. And once I get it right, I try and get a feel for it or a sense of how I did it. And then I'll try again. And it's just this repeated process of failure, success, failure. And however long I may fail, and it takes a while to do things like that. But over those repetitions, it's like, yo, you just kind of get it. Like, you just kind of get it at one point. Like, it makes sense. You get it. It's natural. You understand it. Expect to fail way more than you succeed. Because you get that one success, and you kind of build on that. You build on it because you know what it feels like. You know what it looks like. You know how to interact with it now. Of course, you're still going to fail a lot more, but, like, at least there's that glimmer of hope that you can do it. And that's the thing. Like, it shows that you can do something if it worked once. And then you got to do it again and again and again and again. And at one point, it just feels natural. It feels natural, like just a regular thing.
Come back tomorrow. Just 10 minutes. Doesn't have to be perfect. Redo the thing. Say it out loud. You don't need new tutorials. You need reps. Lazy learners don't cram. They layer slowly, daily. That's how skills become second nature. Let's wrap this up with the lazy learning loop, the exact 5-step cycle I've used to learn skills faster than most people finish the intro tutorial. Curate. Don't consume everything. Find the top 1 to 3 resources only, no more. Cut the fluff. Chunk. Break it into tiny missions. 1 goal per session, 1 small win at a time. Stop trying to finish the course. Start trying to get the rep. Do first, then watch if you get stuck. Open the tool before you open the tutorial. Touch it, play with it, then learn what went wrong. Explain it out loud. Teach your confusion, even if it's to a wall. If you can explain it, you own it. Repeat it tomorrow, not next week. Come back the next day and do it again. Your brain doesn't need new, it needs reps. Lazy learners don't cram, they layer, slowly, daily.
Cool. That was a cool video. I'm not gonna lie. Great video. I love that video. Very short. Kind of what I wanted, though. I'm not gonna lie. I do stretch videos out long. Like, especially if it's 10 minutes, I'll stretch it out to 30. I'll probably stretch this out to like 15. I'm not gonna lie. But aside from that, amazing video by Grit Wise. See ya.